So in this video we will learn about the quadratic function. So quadratic function always represents a parabola. So this is the shape of the parabola, and the function is, in general, it is given in the form fx as ax squared plus bx plus c, and a, b, c can be any numbers, but only thing that a should not be 0. So now we will study the vertex form of it, and the equation is given as the function fx is equals to a times x minus p squared and plus q. So this is the vertex form which we should remember. Now understanding some important terms for the parabola. So this is the shape of the parabola in general. It can be either upward or it can be downward. So it can be in any direction. So vertex, the point where the curve takes the turn, like the curve is coming down and it's taking the turn. So the point where it takes the turn is said to be the vertex. So we say it's the turning point on the parabola. Then next we have the axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is the line, vertical line we say, which divides the parabola into two equal halves. So there is equal half on this side as well as on this side. So this line, the dotted line which I've drawn, is the axis of symmetry. So this is written here, the axis of symmetry. Next is now direction of opening. So this is the part where it is open. So we say it is open upwards. So it can have two direction of openings. So one can be in the upward direction. So here upwards we say, and other downwards. So it will be open downwards, or we can say it is upside down. Now we learn some characteristics for the vertex form of the parabola. So this is the form fx is a times x minus p whole squared plus q, and the vertex is given as pq. So we can see the vertex is the turning point. So the coordinates for this particular point is p and q, and the equation of axis of symmetry. So this dotted line is the axis of symmetry, and its equation is given as x is equal to p. So we write this equation as x is equal to p. The domain for this is all real numbers. So all real numbers, because we can input any x value here, so it is defined for all real numbers. So we should remember all these points, and then now continuing with some more points. Now again, this is the function with which we are continuing, the vertex form, and this is the diagram for this. Now we see that the value of a, p and q has given us the vertex. Now we see the value of a. So the a value which we discussed earlier, that it should not be 0. So what the value represents here? So a can be either positive or it can be negative. If a is positive, then the direction of opening will be upwards. Okay, so then if a is negative, direction of opening will be downward. Then we say if it is upward, like the direction is left somewhat like this. So in this case, the minimum value, so minimum value of y, since this vertex has the coordinates p and q, so q, the y coordinate will be the minimum value. So the minimum value will be q. And since we say the minimum value is q, so range will be y such that y is greater than equals to q. That means it will be either q or more than that, and y can be element of real number. Now if a is negative, as we discussed, so the parabola will be something like downwards like this, and like this if we draw, so it will be downwards. And here if we have the vertex p and q, so in this case the maximum value will be q. So maximum value is q, and then we say that y is less than or equals to q, and y will be real number. So this is very important to understand, that a positive, negative, and corresponding to that what will be the direction, whether it will have minimum, maximum value, and what should be the range for this. Now we start with some examples. So example 1, so y is equal to 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 10. So for that we always first write the vertex form so that you can compare and then figure out what are the values of A, P and Q. So if we relate both of them, so we can see what are the values of A. So A will be 2, P, so if you compare both of these, so we see here, so x and x, minus and minus, so P value will be 3. So P value is 3 and Q value, so after the squared bracket we have plus 10 and here we have plus Q. So we write Q as positive 10. Now we know that the vertex, the formula tells us that it is PQ. So from this we can then write the vertex from the coordinates what we have written here. So it is 3 and 10. So this will be the vertex. Next we see equation of axis of symmetry. The formula is x is equals to P, and then we write, since the P value is 3 here, so we write x is equals to 3. So these what I am writing here are the formulas which we have already discussed here. Now the domain, irrespective of whether it is upward or downwards, just remember that domain is going to be always real numbers. Then the A value which we found here, so A is positive. So we write here A is positive. So when A is positive, so direction of opening will be upward. Then whether it will have maximum or minimum, so whenever it is having upward direction, so just remember it's going to have a minimum value. So we'll say minimum value is Q. So minimum value Q, so we write here, so value is Q, so that means we write minimum value will be 10 as the Q value is 10. Then the range, since it is minimum, so we write here y is such that y has to be greater than equals to 10 and y is real numbers. Now the example 2, in this again there is a quadratic function given and we relate it with this one. So A value here is, if we compare, so A is minus 3. So we write the values here, so A is minus 3. So if you compare these two, so P will be 6. So we always just remember that P will be taken the opposite sign of this one. So this way it is easy to remember. So if it is minus 6, we'll take it as 6. If it was plus 6, then we would have taken it as minus 6. So these some more questions we'll be discussing in the next video. So now coming back to this. So if you see, after the square bracket we have minus 5 and here we have Q. So we'll write the Q value as negative 5. Just compare these two to get that. Now the vertex, the formula we are writing, and now we are writing the actual coordinates. So the coordinates for the vertex will be 6, negative 5. Equation of axis of symmetry, the formula is x is equals to P, and we write the actual answer for this. So x is equals to P and P value is 6. So we've written here 6. Then the domain, always for the quadratic we write the domain as real numbers. Then the direction of opening, so A value here we can see A value is negative 3. So we write A is negative. So the direction of opening will be downwards. Then if it is downward, so just remember that if it is having the direction downward, so it will always have a maximum value. So maximum value is Q. So in the question we have the maximum value, so we write maximum value will be Q and Q value is negative 5. Range, since we say it is the maximum, that means rest of the values will be either less than that or equal to that. So we write y is such that y is less than equals to negative 5 and y is going to be real numbers. Now pause the video and try this question and then check your answers in the next slide. So here are the answers given for all the characteristics. So just check it and thank you.